Hello, so I've come over today and I think, like I did last week, I think it's time that I get this plot all the way through. It needs a good clean now. And I was looking back at a previous video of my autumn last year and it was so bare, and I'm dreading that. And I'm sure you are too. It's like when you take your Christmas tree down you look at your house and you think it's really empty now. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I'm going to strip everything back, put everything that I need to compost, and then is it going to look a naked plot? Is my plot going to look too bare? So I've still got some things that I need to plant in. So once I get all this out, and I'm just gutted. I'm gutted that that club root has wiped out a lot of this bed, but we've still got some beautiful harvest to do. I can't be, can't be too ungrateful. I've had a brilliant year, and I just got to keep focusing on next year. The new plot, still haven't chosen the name. As we've started clearing all the back. Mark came up and he helped me clear all the back of the polytunnel, and God, it was about 2 foot deep of brambles and stingy nettles. So that's all done. I'm glad. I got so many plans for that. So another thing I want to show you as well is that, remember I took that corn off and I peeled it all back and I was happy with it. It was like a milky white colour. Well, I left it on the side and I thought, it was the first one. Do I eat it? And I thought I'd keep it for seed because it was the largest cob. But look at this. Let me show you what's inside. So do you remember the one that I was moaning about, saying, it was a success. I was happy, but I thought it cross-pollinated. But when we go inside this one, wait till you see. Blue corn. So they do. Maybe I harvested it just a little bit too early. I looked on the shelf, I thought, it's gone blue. So yeah, look at that. It's weird, right? But it's fantastic. That this lovely blue corn. So I think because this one's got a bit of damage on the top, and it always has had that, I think this one will be a nice treat for the chickens today. There's so many huge cobs on here that I'm pushing it to the limits of thinking the squirrels are going to come up those bloody plants and take them all down. And I know it'll happen, but I'm gambling with it. I'm gambling thinking it's just another couple of days. But these ones, they'd be fine. And I will keep some. I'll keep some for next year because they were fantastic. And I would highly recommend them. But do they taste nice? Who knows? But they're just something to grow on your plot and a nice structure. But yeah, blue corn. I know I said last week that the marigolds, will turn the yolks a nice orangey yellow. But I hope this stuff don't make the bloody eggs go blue. One thing I still can't believe is happening is that the sunflowers just keep coming back. Some die off and then others come, just come out of their stems. They're like a tomato plant, these ones. I tell you now, every little side arm is growing another flower head. And there's just so many, but there's so many now that have gone to seed. And I'm so looking forward to collecting all these seeds. And who knows, I might give some away as well. But I know the birds on my plot will benefit from it if I don't take them off soon. But the chickens also will. And that was the real reason why I grew these. They're beautiful on the plot, but they're also some nice food for the chickens in the winter. But there's plenty here for them. I was acting really brave on that last clip, but thinking about it, I think I'm tempting fate too much. So I think I am going to collect a few and try them. The leaves are just amazing. They're like this nice spirally, display plant really. And yeah, I think I'll collect a few of these now. And I'm sure someone will enjoy some blue corn. Blue corn. So I bottled it and I got all of the corn out. I don't want the squirrels to take all the seed and I got nothing for next year. But I'm going to try and get these out now because they're really rooted and good grief. The roots on these are crazy. And I'm sure the corn has taken a lot of nutrients out of this bed. So I need to be mindful of that this bed will need a good, nutrient-packed feed. And I've got some lovely rotted manure in the compost heap that I'm definitely going to put on this bed. But that would make sense because I put pumpkins here as well, and the pumpkins didn't grow as well on this side, the little ones. And I think it might be because they were fighting for the nutrients next to these corns. I mean, these are gigantic plants, but the roots on them are just crazy. So look how naked and bare this one area is now. Look how deep those roots went. So I'm gonna have to really sort this bed out now and give it a good bit of feed as well. But it just looks so bare and the plot looks so open now without the corn. But I'll definitely grow it again. One thing I do want to show you is the filter kraut. Look at the size of that. I mean, all these leaves the chickens will have, but look at that size, honestly. It is ginormous. I can't believe it, honestly. It's massive. But yeah, this bed needs a good sorting out as well, like everything else. So I've come up here today, a new day, and yeah, I'm going to tackle some of the bushes around this plot to give it a bit more light. Now, I've got a little mini chainsaw. Now, if this video comes out, this has not been flung into my chest, and happily that I'm not dead. So I'm hoping I'll be okay. So I'm just going to trim off all around the fronts, drop it down to about 10 foot so that it still gives a bit of security on the plot, but it'll just bring in so much more light in the mornings. So wish me luck. So I've kind of did a thing. How much light is going to come into this plot now is tenfold. But look at the pile. It's half the plot and it's about 8 foot high. And that'll be my next task of trying to get rid of it. So I think I might stack it over in the corner, let all the leaves drop off, and then I'll just chop it all up then, and hopefully, it can be used then for nature to live in. And also maybe I'll chop it all up and build some nice hazelnut fences with some of it as well. I never do anything easy, but I can't take all the credit. Mark came around today and helped me chop back some of it as well. Always a job to do, innit? So let me just show you what I've done and what I've got planned in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully you can understand, what I'm doing. So the shed's gone, that was here. Underneath there was a hedgehog nest, and luckily there was no babies in it, but there was a nest. I did cover it over hoping that they'd stay, but the hedgehog has moved on, and I didn't know that at the time, but yeah, it was underneath the base. So that's gone. All the trees are being cut back now, all the way around. But look at this colossal amount, and it goes all the way back. But it's brought so much light in now. I'm going to re-roof the shed, and I've got some half rounds off Mark, off an old shed he's got, and I'm gonna like sort of shiplap it so it'll look like a log cabin, if you can see over there. So there's going to be there's going to be half rounds all the way around, so it'll look like a nice rustic log cabin in the corner. The fig tree is staying, so is the olive tree. I just think it looks nice, it's just nice there, just snuggled right in the corner. I think I'm going to put some compost heaps across the back here, and then this will be recovered in the spring. These beds I'm going to weed through, and I'm going to put some spring cabbages in, I think, and also some onions and garlic. Cut back most of these raspberries because there's too many. There's just too many raspberries, and these are all runners here anyway, so maybe other plot holders can have them. So what else have I got planned? So I'm thinking that some of that, like I mentioned, is going to go down this area here on the side of the polytunnel and make like a nature hazelnut weaved through fence, so I can use most of that and utilize it, you know, rather than buying a fence or buying more wood in. I'll stake in loads of hazelnut into the ground after it's dried off, you know, over the winter, and then I'll use the fresher stuff, hopefully a thinner stuff, to weave through, and I'll have a nice fence down there. That's the plan. So I'm back on the other plot and I've come over, and there's been some devastation on the leeks. Take a look at this. So as you can see, I didn't net these because I've never had a problem on you before, but this is, I think, Allium leaf miner. Look how they're all decimated, they're all falling to the floor. But luckily, these ones were planted a bit later and were netted. So luckily I've got some leeks, and these were the backup ones, but I'm worried that these could fall to the same demise. It's a shame really, because I had a lovely crop of leeks in here. But that's what happens, you know. You win some, you lose some. It's really sad, but it's also really exciting that my plot is just going to rack and ruin the last couple of, you know, days, well, weeks. And yeah, it's really weird to see it, that everything now is dying down, and I've had such a jungle of food here for the last couple of months that now I'm focusing some time on the other plot, but I need to be sure as well that this plot doesn't go, you know, too weedy. And it looks after itself most of the time, but I can see loads of Swedes that are perfect and ready for autumn. The cabbages that I planted, oh, they're looking amazing. I'll show you those now. So the cabbages that I popped in last week and I showed you planting, look at them already. They're just coming from strength to strength. They're netted. And the thing I love about this net as well is that it does, if you put it on tight, which I haven't yet, if you put this on tight, it does keep the slugs out a bit as well. You know, deters them a little bit. But these so far, they're looking well. The most frustrating thing to happen on this plot this year is that I didn't get no pears. These two trees have always been laden with pears, and typical, they've now decided to put bloody pears on the tree before winter. I don't know why. I think it might be because of all that heat, and they just thought, you know, well, fruit. I didn't see no flowers come on this, so I don't know how it's happened. But look at this. There's some pears growing on that tree, and it's too late now for them to come to fruition. But typical. Also, if you're in Malvern next Sunday, which is September the 25th, and you see me walking around the autumn show, just come and say hello, and yeah, I'll be happy to meet anyone that want to come have a chat. And you know, don't feel you can't, because you definitely can. I'll be with Tony O'Neill, Jane Kelly, Steve off Digwell Greenfingers. I know Muddy Boots is going. So many people are going. I could list and again. I just keep going. There's so many YouTube gardeners going. And yeah, if you see any of us, just come and say hello, and it'd be really nice to meet people that watch the channel, and I'm sure they'll feel the same way. So I don't think I'm going to work on this plot anymore today, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a harvest. The tomatoes are ripening really well in the greenhouse now. The last ones I stripped off the vines. There's still no signs of blight, which is a good thing. Or if there is, I've not had any yet. The sun's come out, we had that week of rain, and I thought blight is on its way. But yeah, for some reason, blight is staying off for a bit longer. It's gone warm again. It feels like summer. And the seasons have just been crazy this year, haven't they? You can't work them out. Right, I'm going to go do my harvest, so take care guys, and I shall see you all again soon.